Meet me at the crossroads. Crossroads. All right. Meet me at the crossroads. You're at a crossroads. We're all at a crossroad, a massive pinnacle decision point in our lives. We can go one way or we can choose to go the other way. But either way, you are going to be birthed by fire this week. Kind of like the phoenix. It's giving phoenix energy. It's rumbling under your feet. You may feel incredibly unstable this week. Your dreams may be whacked out and wise and exciting and informative, maybe a little freaky, crazy, scary. It's bringing up some deep subconscious or unconscious feelings in order to get you to move. Do you feel that fire under your ass? It's because Source is moving you. God, Spirit, Universe, your guides are moving you. You're at a crossroads. You are being moved into the timeline and the pathway you are supposed to walk. Okay, so unstable energy. Astro forecast for this week. Mars is having a little rumble and squaring Pluto retrograde Aquarius. Mars is the planet of action, of war, of really fiery energy. Think of like someone that's like super freaking hot tempered all the time, but like excited to be here, right? Inspirational. They integrate, they take action. Their way or the highway. That's Mars. That's Mars's energy. So in like high temperament, high pressured areas, it could lead to arguments. It could lead to massively friction spaces, frustrating spaces. It can lead to blow ups, but used correctly, Mars's energy can be used to move, make a decision into the new crossroad, into a different path, into a different timeline. It can get you unstuck as long as you remain graceful and tempered and wise with it, right? Using that fire appropriately. Now, Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, okay? You will be transformed by the fire. You will die metaphysically, obviously not physically, right? You will die and be reborn through the fire, all right? Dragon energy, Phoenix energy. Pluto is that planet of death and rebirth. In Aquarius, retrograde, meaning we're reviewing how we show our authenticity to the world. So where are you needing to light a fire under your ass to make you 333 on the clock? To light a fire under your ass, to move you into a different timeline. One that is aligned with your truth. One that is aligned with something you're really afraid to move into, but you know in your soul, it is time. This week is the week, okay? Sunday, we have a full moon in Sagittarius. So yes, more fire energy. Full moons are culmination points. Full moons are harvest. They're cleansing, they're clearing. What do you need to let die? What do you need to smolder and burn in the fire? Either internal shadows or external connections, situations, old stories, identities, and those things that are attached to those old stories and identities. Where do you need to let those go so that you can be reborn in the passageway, the threshold of the fire? This is the only full moon, it's a blue moon, the only full moon that we will have in Sagittarius this year. And Sag likes to get weird with things. Sag is so truthful, almost like bluntly truthful. There's a lot of very sharp edges around this week. And friends, I just want to give you the warning, tread thoughtfully, carefully, gracefully. We'll see that in our cards, okay? So use this energy of the only Sagittarius full moon that we will have to pave the way, right? You're walking over hot coals, but you're going to do it faith-filled versus fear-filled, okay? Ride that high vibration, that very clear, clean frequency of faith versus doing it scared. I read a quote this week on Facebook by Laura Eisenhower, and it summarized it perfectly. She says, "The world may feel unstable, but the soul knows how to navigate fire. And when we use fire wisely, it becomes illumination." When we use fire wisely, it becomes illumination. And that's going to be the challenge of this week, friends. And now for our cards. The first card we get from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck is number 49. And it is the Wise Woman of the Grove. The Wise Woman of the Grove. And it is Grace. We see this elder. We see this wise woman coming through the light of illumination, peering through the shadows of the trees, right? She's in her natural state. She is holding the space, pouring her wisdom into this treasure box filled with a ruby of joy, a heart-filled space that will guide us through to the next place. And she's saying, even though we have all these fires, right? When we use it, when we temper it, when we use our self-control, when we can call ourselves out appropriately versus spouting off at the mouth and blaming everybody but us, right? When we use that, we harness this ruby of joy and we shift it into wisdom points. We shift it into illumination points. So we're going to take this spark of inspiration, take this spark of grace, take this spark of joy. We're going to be diplomatic and gracious this week in our interactions with others. We're going to speak with truth, but also with love and kindness. And really, and that does not mean that we're holding some truth bombs within ourselves. No, this fire energy definitely has this vibration of defending yourself, 11:01 on the clock there, so triple ones. Defending yourself, going to bat, doing the thing, saying the thing. And yes, we can, for sure, because we are meant to walk through that fire, right? And maybe that means burning some bridges, but do it with love. Do it with grace. Do it with a spark of joy and truth in your heart. Embody the wise woman. Embody the wise medicine woman. Don't go cray-cray. This is not the week to go cray-cray, or you may start a war, right? If you're going to play with fire, use it to move your booty through the threshold of transformation into your next rebirth space. Okay, we got it. All right, we are now going to, of course, we have this fire theme. So we're going to now pull a card and Spirit, tell us what else? What else do we need to know here? We're going to pull a card from the fire deck, the dragon deck. Yes. So Spirit, what else do we need to know for the thank you, for the collective's highest good of all? And they're saying, thank you. Number 23, which equals the number 5, which means change. We're changing, and sometimes we're changing through chaos, confusion, shit falling down around us, right? But we're getting enlightenment through that, and that is the card of enlightenment. Yes. Do you see it kind of reminds me of the Hermit card where they've got that little lantern, that enlightenment. Remember, when we use the fire wisely, it becomes illumination, right? And that's what we're talking about. That's that grace, that wise woman energy. It becomes that, right? And it's saying we're moving forward, but we're moving forward in a powerful space of controlling our internal fire and using it for transformation and illumination. We are not using that internal fire to freaking smack a thank you. You know what, right? Even though sometimes we want to. All right. I love it. The next card we got, Angel card number 987. It's the card of reflection. Like the man in the mirror. Look inward and evaluate your actions. Embrace introspection and self-reflection for your own development. So this is saying You get clarity through being able to see your own reflection. But it is really calling for you to reflect and turn that mirror inward and really looking at where you need to either light a fire under your ass or let some old things burn that is stopping you from walking through this portal of rebirth by fire. So take some time this week to reflect. All right. We're going to get some tarot. So Spirit, what else? What else do we need to know to help support us during this week of intense fire, intense energy? And friends, thank you. Let me know this week, drop a comment, like what is going on? Like, are you feeling the fire? Are you feeling it lapping at your booty? Are you feeling the unstable energy? I've also noticed through my own space, okay, these two, thank you. Through my own experience and through my clients this week, we're all talking about dreams. Dreams have been really, oh, no way. Okay, we're going to love this. Dreams have been really, really, really intense this week. And so, what messages are coming through to your dreams, right? That's coming big, big, big time. So get your dream journal out, whether it's a journal or like notes in a phone, but what's coming through your dreams, make sure that you are recording it, because dreams are one of those ways that helps us intuit energy, intuit vibrations around us. Okay, so the first card we get, do you remember how I was saying that this reminded me of the Hermit? You watch me shuffle. We got the Hermit, friends. I can't make this ish up. We got the Hermit. So again, major arcana. So it's saying reflect. It's saying go inward this week instead of spouting off at the mouth, which is like ego's defense mechanism without any thought to it, right? Instead of doing that, reflect. It's time to reflect this week. And where do we want to use that energy to navigate these crossroads? So really, it is going within. It's embodying grace. It's embodying the wise woman. It's about opening this treasure chest, finding the jewel of joy, right? What is reflective in your heart space to navigate. So it's maybe taking a beat in a seat, taking a breath before speaking, taking a breath before choosing to engage in combative energy. And remember, using the fire wisely, harnessing it and using it to illuminate your next path, right? That crossroad. Spirit says we are embodying the Queen of Wands. Yes. That fire energy, right? So this is, and I love the sunflower. It always reminds me of like hope and a plan. We're protected with this little cute cat here. But it's also saying like really use your wise woman, right? That feminine energy of fire to birth. Where are you being inspired? Where do you feel your next adventure calling? Where do you feel a spark of life where you want to give that spark of life room to breathe? Where do you want to breathe your fire into this earth, right? Choosing your crossroads. That's where we need to pour our energy. That's where we need to pour our illumination in. That's where we need to put our attention in instead of popping off and fighting everyone this week, which is just pissing your energy away. Pour it into something that excites you and also maybe scares you a little bit, but instead of choosing fear and holding you back, choose faith and follow that fire into illumination, into your next path through that threshold. Okay, we have some fears. Again, another number 5, and that's change through conflict and challenge and chaos of feeling maybe I'm not going to have like enough on the other side, right? Like feeling left out in the cold, feeling ignored. Maybe we're feeling, like I said, that unstable energy beneath our feet. It kind of feels like that earthquake energy is like that rumble. And so maybe that is what is stopping us from moving forward because the ego loves to keep us safe. The ego loves to keep us in spaces that we know, right? The unknown is scary. And maybe we're scared about falling financially flat on our face. Maybe we're scared about our reputation or our friend group supporting us, right? Or a job or something. Who knows, right? But there is some kind of serious fear that the ego feels, yo, we are not stable, so we're hesitant to move through that next portal space. And Spirit says, no, we got to birth it through. You're the freaking Queen of Wands. Have a little confidence. You got to have hope that we can move through to that next space, right? And you do that by embodying the wise woman and the hermit, right? And harnessing the fire to use it for illumination. We also end with the 5 of Cups in the reverse position. And so in the upright here, we see this griever. Maybe there is some grieving. When we move through a crossroads, sometimes it's really hard because it means maybe leaving some things behind, right? So we're crying over spilled milk. We're really focusing on the 3 cups that we lost. Maybe it's causing us a little heartbreak, a little emotion. Well, guess what? Let yourself feel it. You got to feel it to heal it, right? But don't get stuck looking at what spilled because you've got 2 cups behind him, right? Behind you that you need to focus on. We know that what we focus on grows. And right now we're harnessing this fire energy. So let the full moon in Sag release these 3 cups. Cry it out, scream it out. Maybe do some kind of ritual, a burn ritual in safe spaces, right? So write what you're going to release. Throw it into a fire pit, safely, making sure that you can burn and, all the things, right? And release, and then call in what you want. When it's in the reverse position, we are either hesitating to move on to the 2 of Cups, or we're saying, you know what? Okay, I see my fear. I see what I'm scared to leave behind. I see why I'm scared to leave behind it, but I'm going to use my inner illumination, use my wise woman of grace, use this enlightenment piece, take the time to reflect, embody this Queen of Wands, and I am going to walk through the portal of rebirth. I'm going to be rebirthed through the fire and choose these 2 of Cups, right? Choose the crossroad that, yes, I'm a little scared, but I'm choosing faith over fear. And I am going to use this fire and not allow the fire of fear to burn me and stop me from moving forward. I'm going to harness it into wisdom and allow it to illuminate my path, which will help you move through the threshold and embody your ruby, embody your heart's desire, right? So this week, friends, is a little tense. Tread carefully, tread thoughtfully, tread reflectively. Keep your eye on where you're going. Have faith over fear, and make sure that you're using your inner fire of illumination to move you forward. All right, friends. And if you like what you're seeing, you like my vibe, like and subscribe to get access to all of our videos. We have over 100, and there's little nuggets of gold in all of them. All right. So I'm wishing you lots of love and blessings. Take care, friends.